presence of Narva.
Nee, maar is reg. Ons gaan nou live. So ons is nou live. Jy hoef nou nie daaroor te worry nie. So ja, kom ons kyk net gou of mense join, of die ouens gaan intik. See if people are... Yeah, you can't see the chat, but I can see the chat. Yeah, I can see the chat. For sure. Now we just see if we can get people to start joining there. Okay, currently there's no one still watching. Daar's nog niemand op nie. Ons gaan nou gaan kyk. Ek kom ook gaan net oopmaak en kyk of hy actually beeld is. Ja, daar is beeld, ja. Right, yeah, listen, yeah, I see Rob has actually joined. And Leonard Haasbroek is over here, and there's the Fog Father from Germany. So you guys can all hear us fine there? Right, yeah, listen, yeah, I see Rob has actually joined. No problems? Everyone happy? Alright, so the guy we're actually chatting to this evening calls himself Hans. That's his forum nick. His real name is Jock. He's a bit off camera there. You can't see him now. You can see his left ear and his left eye. Jock, you can't move slightly more that people can actually see what you look like. You can only see your left. We see your left hand, and that's basically that. That's better. There she is. There he goes. All right, so for those of you who do not know, Jock is a goldsmith of trade, and he makes jewelry in KwaZulu-Natal for the local folk, but he also made his name doing drip tips, amazing drip tips. So yeah, I've had a video posted, so you guys can actually go through my archive and go and check out that specific video if you want to see. I've also got a picture of a knife which I actually did engravings on. So yeah, Jock, welcome to KZOR's live feed. You are my first victim. So yeah, we're gonna see if people are actually gonna.
It feels like a victim.
No. Don't worry about it. I won't ask you any questions that is going to embarrass you. Hopefully not. But yeah, we'll just quickly see if the guys have got different questions. But while they are busy thinking about things, you are one of the few vapors which I know who do not fall for the hype bug. I mean, you've got one or two mods, one or two setups which you have then, and you have started vaping when?
Oh, 3.5 years ago.
And can you tell the people how many setups do you actually have?
2.
So how do you manage
this 3 years ago?
Now, how do you manage it? How do you get it right when you see everyone around you going on about a new mod or a new atomizer, and just tell yourself, no, do not go there?
The mods I haven't upgraded much, but the atomizers have gotten upgrades. And every now and then there is an ATI worth upgrading to.
And what are those ATIs? What currently would you recommend?
The Hadley and the Sentinel.
Yeah. So for you people who do not know, I've also got the Sentinel. Very, very nice. Especially if you're into squonking. These 22mm single coil RDAs, low profiles, they're very, very nice for squonking though. And I mean, yeah, people complain about the over squonking in the Hadley. Do you find that you tend to over squonk? Have you also mastered the art just like me?
Well, I've got the Hadley on the Rio. The Rio doesn't over squonk that much because it's a small bottle and a small hole to poke through.
Okay. So yeah, Jock, could you tell the people that what do you actually use? What materials do you actually use to make your drip tips?
It's basically a bit of everything. I try and stay away from animal products like bone and horns and that kind of thing. But everything else is basically fair game. Wood, raisins, whatever looks good.
Is it because it's so hard to actually work with, or does it chip or crack?
No, animal products, some of them get treated by some pretty nasty chemicals, which I don't think you want to be sticking in your mouth.
Oh my word! Listen, yeah, I just quickly want to have a look at this chat program quickly. Just want to see, because I see people, they have stopped posting, so just want to go into my OBS and enter that setting again. But no, it should be fine. Okay, there it actually comes through. Yeah, there it goes. Mr. Durant. Durant has joined us. There we go. Boom. Rob Fisher is there. There, we've got a couple of things. Anton Herbs. Do you know Anton Herbs, Jock?
Name sounds familiar though. Huh?
Is it not your brother? Your brother?
He might be related.
Your boot. Yep. Now, right, Jock is also into a do-it-yourself tremendously. I mean, we have a lot of chats, the two of us, and where we actually talk about everything except custards. So, Jock, what 5 flavors would you take with you on an island, which you cannot be without? You're only allowed 5.
Only 5. Damn.
Good evening, Sean.
Those would have to be Flavor Art key lime, a Flavor Art cream fresh.
You guys must write this down.
Yeah. Inawera lime.
Fresh cream, oh, certainly, from FA.
FA coconut. And what? Got one left.
Hi, Michael. Is
vanilla bean ice cream from V1 from Capella.
Yeah, you're a Capella guy. Yeah, I'm a TFA vanilla bean ice cream guy. I luckily do not get that pepper taste, but yeah.
I take that back. It would be the custard V1.
Okay, all right. But yeah, I would nogal say I would definitely go for. I think I enjoy FA flavors a lot. I really like them. FA strawberry is great for me. I've got no problem over there. TFA vanilla bean ice cream, that will surely be there. FA's fresh cream has to come along. I know you're not a fan of funky pineapple from Molenberry. I dig my funky pineapple, but
hey, it's only 5.
There's so many flavors. The thing is, I mean, this milkshake which I actually made today, which I'm actually vaping on. Yeah, it's a new little milkshake. I can give you the recipe later on if you want. But this thing has got 15 flavors in it. 15, because it includes that base which you have come up with, that secret base. That's why I'm not allowed to post this recipe, because it's got Kokstad copyright on it.
Yeah, copyrighted.
But yeah, I took it down to Vape Station today, and those guys tasted it over there. Them and a few customers, and I think, yeah, I've nailed it. I think it is good as gold. But yeah, just to show you, you actually can't pick five flavors, and you will have to take more though. But I mean, if you just look at the flavors of us, how many flavors do you currently have?
Ooh, I'd say roughly about 300.
It sounds about like a do-it-yourself for sure. I don't even know. I'm afraid to count, because I think my wife is bugging my room. So if she finds out exactly how many flavors I got, I'm deep in the crap.
Yeah, but I would have to say from most regularly used, I can narrow that down by quite a bit. I can easily fit, say, 50 flavors in there and be happy for the rest of time.
Yeah. But I found there's a lot of people that I've actually joined a WhatsApp group as well, a do-it-yourself WhatsApp group. Juicy Joe's, for you that can't see that label over there. Juicy Joe's, one of the local vendors that actually support my channel. But yeah, they've got a lot of questions on do-it-yourself. And I mean, Jock is just like me, or Hans, the guy I'm interviewing, if you still do not know, if you joined late, where we actually prefer Hicks. We put a lot more value to Hicks' opinion. Then I know there's a lot of people that go for do-it-yourself or die. I mean, both of us have actually tried 1 or 2 of his recipes, and we did not like it though until we came across Heading Clouds. And for those of you who's actually starting out in do-it-yourself, that guy has got amazing flavor notes. So if you just go and Google and you go and type in Heading Clouds FA notes, He's going to give you a page where you can actually download it for free. He's got amazing recipes. He's even got recipes for sale, of which I've probably bought about 4 or 5 of his recipes, just to get an idea of what his mixes are. So yeah, do you agree with me there, Jock?
Yeah, he's also got I would say the best notes on flavor art, and flavor art is, if I had to pick one manufacturer, I would pick flavor art. So yeah.
Yeah, not to throw away the other guys. I mean, I'm an absolute addict for Cap Super Sweet. I think they've got the best sweetener out as super sweet. I mean, you've got Inuera's milk chocolate, which is a legend. There's so many others. Flavor West's, creme de menthe. So yeah, I've got a whole array, a whole variety. But by far, I would say FA dominates when it comes to quality flavors.
Yeah, I have to say that their flavors seem to be more accurate than some of the other ones. But that's not a bad thing in some cases. But yeah.
Yeah, Ryan, he has got great recipes. I mean, that guy, he's so underrated. I actually emailed him once or twice and asked him whether he would be interested in an interview, but that was when I actually started out. I think I had 1 subscriber, and that was my wife. And he said he doesn't want to. He's not a limelight guy, not at all. Though he just wants to stay on the background, enjoy what he does. He doesn't want any pressure. But that guy absolutely knows his stuff for sure. But yeah, it's stunning stuff. So, Jock, the way which you use in your builds, because I mean, as I said, we're gonna have some general talk. I know there's a few new guys like Durant that's also joined over here, which might be interested in to know why do you use certain wires.
I don't use fancy coils. I use straight normal wire, Nicrom 80, 26 or 24 gauge. I can't be bothered by building fancy coils. Plus, I'm happy with the taste. Because I make my own juice, I can adjust the recipes. So
yeah, but do you?
I've never bought.
But see, that is my reason why I enjoy regulated mods as well. Because when I throw in decide to all of a sudden do a frame staple with 10 ribbons on the inside, 26 borders or whatever, I can always adjust my wattage to suit my vape. Whereas
yeah, the reason is I get a little bit more battery life from using just standard wire.
But what 2 setups are you running at the moment?
The Rio and the copper vape.
So both mechs, you do not miss a regulated mech at all. But see, the thing is, you know exactly what build you have to do to suit your needs. In any case, I mean, you start.
Yeah, funnily enough, I've got 2 regulated mods. The one is the billet box. I actually use the same build in it. Why I use these 2 is just they got a little bit more airflow.
Yeah, you must started vaping with Jan van Riebeeck on die Dromedaris in 1652. Nee, jy van 'n Hollander, so jy vape al lank.
It's what? I'm going in for 4 years now. So it's not that.
Yeah, and Jock is not like me. Jock wanted to become was partially a vendor back in the day. In 1890, Louis Pasteur still bought some of his juices from him. But I think you guys must seriously try one of his recipes. It's called My Aces. We had these Teddy Licks, these frozen cool drinks, which you get, Teddy Licks or Bunny Licks or whatever they call it. But he actually came up with a very nice recipe if you're into lime, one of those Teddy Licks. So I'm sure you wouldn't mind me posting one of his famous recipes, seeing that he's not selling or anything like that. But you guys must seriously try some of this bloke's recipes. It's off the hook. It's gezonkie nuts nice. So yeah, can I post it for these people?
Yeah, that one's fine.
Seeing that you're such a lime expert, because I mean you probably got about 4 or 5 different lime recipes.
Yeah, my favorite at the moment is a key lime pie, which is absolutely delicious.
Yeah, can I post that recipe, because that's one I've got as well.
Let me see what's in it. Only one ingredient that I don't want to share.
Is it? But I mean, yeah, Michael, he's going to enjoy it. It's very nice, Michael, honestly. I mean, I posted so many recipes.
Yeah, if you're an Afrikaans and you know the cheap, we call them ACs, but the really cheap stuff. That's what it tastes like.
Yeah, no, we always, when we were kids, went to the public swimming pool and we normally bought 4 or 5 of these ACs. And on extremely warm days, there's a lot of kids which do not have money. Then you throw these ACs into the deep side. You see them flocking after these things. No, it's it's very nice, these ACs. But yeah, now I will post that recipe if Jacques actually allows me to do that. I mean, make it public domain. Seeing that I posted my coffee recipe in any case, though, which is one of my vendor recipes. It's actually nice. So yeah. Jacques, what else can you tell us, my mate? Why are you so scarce on the drip tip front?
Yeah, a couple of things happened. Last year I had an internet issue for about a month and a week where I had no internet, and that sort of got me back to more family life and doing other things. I realized that, yeah, the internet is not that important.
Yeah, you don't miss it though. It's like a cell phone, which you tend to forget when you go somewhere and you're actually so happy that you did leave it at home because you realize that one is not really dependent on that kind of stuff.
I don't own a cell phone.
But you must just be careful of not becoming somebody like Joopie Adam.
Yeah, you've known me for a while. I don't socialize much. I like to stick to myself.
Yeah, no, Sean asked the question whether the lime juices, can we order some juices directly, or is it only for do-it-yourself guys? No. I mean, you can post it. You can ask Hans whether he will whip you up some. I've also got the ingredients. I've got no problem. If you want to test it, we can make you a sample. I'm happy with that.
Yes.
VGPG is very cheap. Baie goedkoop hier in die Kapen. So Jacques, if there's anybody out there, because somebody commented on this little guy, and this is the drip stand which you actually made me, my build stand. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Which you gave to me for my birthday. One of the goodies which you actually spoiled me with. Somebody asked me, did you make this yourself, or did you actually buy it and make me believe that you made it for me?
No, the actual threaded part is your, what's his name that you sent me that you bought from,
yeah.
Can't remember where you bought it from, but yeah, I make my own.
From Viper Mountain, from Benji.
Yeah. I prefer to use my own ones, but I just had to use yours because you paid for it.
Yeah, Ryan, he's the guy that made this tip, yeah. He's the guy that makes these awesome Hadley tips. These phenomenal tips. Every Hadley tip which I use comes from this guy. So yeah, he makes them. Phenomenal stuff. But as I said, you must go and check out that video which I made on Hands. You can actually see what this guy's actually capable of if he decides to concentrate the day and put his head down to make something. He's a talented...
Yeah, the other thing is, you know, my day job keeps me busy. Yeah? It's hard work, say 16 or 18 hours a day. You know, it gets to you after a while.
Yeah, no, I should think so. So guys, any questions for Hans over there? What machinery do you need to start making tips? Does he make his own acrylic blocks? Where does he buy stuff locally? You can even ask him something about, I know we have got a viewer currently which has purchased a few solid gold tips from Mr. Hans. Should we not go there? But he is capable of making that. He's also made, I think, sterling silver tips as well. But yeah. But what is the hardest tips for you to make? Have you ever made something with diamonds in?
I actually have, yeah.
Jeez, like it. For the same customer who had the gold.
No.
Wow.
It was for another lady.
Okay, my goodness.
It was just a silver tip with a very small little diamond in it. It's nothing spectacular.
Listen, Leonard, no, Michael, we're not going to say his name over here. Leonard asked, do you...
I can do this.
Leonard
It's always nice to be with him.
Do you make your own resin blanks? No, he does, Leonard. But yeah, so the materials which you use, do you buy it all locally, Jock, for your resin block? Do you have a resin block there which you can quickly show them? close by? Seeing that you are in your workshop.
Nice.
So you can actually see the sizes of these resin blocks, and then they cut it up in little cubes or rectangles, and then they mill a drip tip out of it. But yeah, very, very great work. Awesome stuff. Yeah, Sean also wants to know how long it's going to take you to turn a Hadley tip from start to finish.
Start to finish takes about half an hour.
That's actually very quick.
This is a casted resin block that I cast, and these are the ones I buy. They also come in a square like this, but this is the ones you can buy in.
So did you find it's better using those around?
I buy some of them and I make most of them. If I make my own resin blocks, I have more creativity, or I'm allowed more creativity. When you buy them, you have to basically get what they have. Some of them I buy they're just nice materials to work with. The material that I like the most is this stuff called Alumalite. Unfortunately, there's not a South African producer of these things. They have to be imported. And then any resin or even what's it called? Solid surface material that's used in kitchen counters and that kind of thing. What else? Wood, silver, gold, lining material that gets used in knife making. Basically anything that looks nice. Anything that will decorate.
Yeah, what the people don't understand, I mean, they think when you pay 220 Rand or 180 Rand for a drip tip, it's a lot of money, but it's actually not. You tend to forget about the materials, which you also lose while making it. You always don't have a successful first attempt at a tip, and then you have to start again.
That's true. The tip that I'm using is a reject. I seem to be using my rejects. There is sometimes, especially with the layered tips, a lot can go wrong. Sometimes there's a little air bubble in the wrong place, or doesn't hold properly, or whatever.
Yeah, Michael, actually, I think we spoke about Damascus steel tips. But
yeah, the problem solid metal tips is heat. They transfer too much heat. They look very nice, but they transfer too much heat.
Yeah, because I've actually seen one Damascus steel tip. It looks great, but as you said, it's not very practical. Not for the price which you pay in any case for that.
Yeah, but what you can do is you can do a a Delrin insert, and then do the Damascus over top of that. Okay. That's fine.
But what do you
then
reckon?
You won't have direct transfer from the atomizer onto the tip.
But what would you reckon would a tip like that cost?
Nobody produces Damascus rods locally, because when I asked the knife community, they sent me across to Switzerland and yeah, our currency is a bit weak to bring those in to make tips. It's quite expensive.
See, I must actually
but it's also good quality stainless steel Damascus. It's not normal steel Damascus.
Yeah, see, when I was in Mossel Bay, which is, for those people who do not know, it's one of the coastal towns in the Western Cape in South Africa. I often go for drives in the industrial areas, because I always like to go and check out these engineering places, or when I see where people make stuff. And I came across a small factory in Mossel Bay where they actually make knives. And that guy was one of the Kershaw branches where they make these Kershaw knives. And that guy was busy creating Damascus steel over there. We actually heated it up, folded, heated it up, and he actually took me through the process. And it takes it, and that's why it's so expensive, because it's a huge amount of labor hours to create that specific steel, especially if you do not use machinery. You're one of the old school guys.
Yeah, it also depends on what patterns they're making. Some of the patterns just take a lot more skill and time to produce.
No, it looks stunning. But yeah, there was somebody that says, "Hey KZOR, I love what you're doing. Thanks for getting me into single coil rebuildable squonking atomizers." Yeah, no, it is stunning. I mean, I still cannot fathom when people tell me that they're not into squonking, they do not like squonking, and then it must be a setup, because how often, I mean, it's happened many times. Then I tell somebody I'm busy squonking, then I tell them, but try this, and then all of a sudden it's a total different experience from what they had when squonking. But I assume it's the same with dripping as well. There's a lot of people that are big RTA fans, but once you get into dripping and you do not mind the hassle of actually taking out this and dripping it every 3-4 minutes, the flavor which you can get out of a dripper is just unparalleled, I tell you. So yeah, you've been on RTAs.
There are conveniences to tanks, and some of those type of devices.
Yeah, see, I'm going to try out 2 RTAs. I ordered the food tune. They unfortunately had a problem with shipping EMS to South Africa, so they sent it registered post. We should have actually had it this week, but anywho, heaven knows when we'll probably get it. I think in 2035 maybe. But the food tune actually looks very nice, and then that SMM, I actually want to try it, because the Nudge, it's got a similar build deck to the Nudge. It's very much the same as the Nudge, and I think that RTA should have the potential to actually deliver good flavor. But in general, I'm not much of a RTA guy. I actually just want to get a very nice one for my loveliness, for sweet pie. I
enjoy the comment of squonking equals mouthful of juice.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No. There's some.
If your button is blocking your center hole, yes.
There's something else I would put in this place of squonking that equals a mouthful of juice, but it's definitely not squonking. But no. If you got the correct drip tip, remember your tip makes a huge difference to that. Your wattage makes a huge difference. Your circumference and the surface area of your coils makes a huge difference. And then the tension of your wick, the tightness of your wick. So if you get all those things correctly, that is where the point where me and Jacques is at that moment. We know how to do it.
There's one more thing that you didn't mention is you can get actually if your wick blocks your bottom hole, juice will come up, but as soon as it goes down, it blocks the hole.
Okay, yeah.
And then you can have like over squonking, like when you tilt the mod, you get juice pouring out the air holes and that kind of thing.
True over there. Now, Rob, we know you are into the RTAs. We know you're an RTA guy. But I mean, you go fishing. I mean, it makes no sense if you take a drip along when you go bass fishing, my mate, or carp fishing. Because I mean, you just want to and all of a sudden the line is there with a 50-kilogram barber on the thing. So yeah, no, you don't have time to actually squat or drip. You need to go for your RTAs. Tried a wasp, almost out of dripping. Hopefully the Hadley redeems. Yeah, no, the wasp wasn't bad, Michael. For the price point, I think the wasp is very good. The thing is, what one must also remember. I mean, yes, like I've got a total of 14 22mm single coil RTAs, a variety of RTAs now, yeah. And one normally checks out the distance between the two posts, and then say, for instance, you see it is 9mm. You think that a 4.5mm coil is actually going to be the solution. No, it's not. Trying building your coil closer to your air hole sometimes to a disadvantage, because that actually impedes your airflow, which means that less airflow actually hits your coils and brings up those small little flavor particles. So you must always have a little space between your coil and the airflow entry points. And there was a guy with a wasp the other day though, and he had a 3.5mm diameter coil inside the wasp. And I said no, and I made one of my frame staples 3mm, put that in, and the guy had a total different experience. And you will, because you need that air to actually lift up those particles. So especially for us direct lung heaters, yeah, if you're into MTL for sure, then you can go for this very much restricted idea, but you also lose flavor by doing that. Are there many other vapors in good old Kokstad? Yeah, this guy's converted half of all the ladies in Kokstad already to vaping.
Ladies, not that many. In a small town, people seems to be a little bit different. They're not as open to new ideas. But yeah, I've got a few vapors, yeah.
Yeah, it must be suck to be in a small town and you do not have. I mean, it's like you with VapeCon situation last year, where I actually flew up to VapeCon and you actually had to drive how far to just get to an airport? I mean, I'm in Cape Town, airport's close. How many?
3.5.
3.5. See, this guy he just 3.5 hours just to get to an airport where there's a plane. And then it's such a mission for this poor bloke because he stays there in the Gopse. There where the people still run around with white paint on their faces. My favorite single coil RDA. I think that is a test, a trick question over there. But if you have not watched my videos, it is most certainly the Hadley. Most certainly. I am part of the group buy which actually ordered the Hadeon caps. But I mean, I used the Entheon today again. And I mean, I had a look at the Entheon, and I don't know, whether that Hadeon cap is going to make such a huge difference to this. But we will see. But I mean, there's the Entheon on top of the RSQ.
I would say purely as a squonking, the same better.
Well, I hope it's got
better
airflow though, because that better airflow might mean a better vape experience as well. I mean, currently I rate the vape experience, if I put the Hadley on a 10 to 10 at the moment, I would give this guy an 8, which is too far off. I mean, it's even below the Sentinel at this specific point, and the Soul S. That Soul S is such an underrated RDA. It's amazing. You should just go and watch the reviews. I mean, that thing's got 10 out of 10 for flavor.
Wow.
Yeah, I ordered mine again. I unfortunately sold mine with but I never had a look at what was the RT. I thought it was a wasp on top. And when the guy left here, I realized I just sold my bloody Soul S. That sucked. But in any case, so yeah, no, I ordered myself another one there. The Luxotic makes perfect sense. Guess I'm going to have to find my ribbon wire. I don't know what the hell is the Luxotic. Do you know, Hans?
No.
Is it some other Oriental prostitute? Luxotic. No, I've got no. I can't have opinions on that. I'm a married man. Definitely not. Yeah, Rob, a 2.5mm fuse Claptons, 28 watts. I know fuse Claptons is the way to go with it. I was so frustrated with one of the things which I actually tested, the Nada. I mean, when I received the Nada, I was so looking forward to put a frame staple in that, but you just can't because of those screws and the limited building space in the Nada. And that, for those who don't know the Nada, I think it's my latest video which I did. It's this little guy. But yeah, also not something which I will purchase. But if you're starting out and you walk around in the park and you pick one of those up, it's not a bad atomizer, for sure. But yeah, it doesn't come close to the rest though. So yeah, the setup which I'm currently running is the Hotsec R150. I just enjoy this guy, and then the Tokugawa on top of it. A phenomenal RDA, phenomenal. I'm busy trying to get the Kennedy for myself though, because I mean, after I found that this and the Reload, those bottom airflow RDAs, if you wick them correctly, it's such a dream. Very much nice. I see there's another guy advertising that Asmodus Luna RDA on the forum now. I don't know, I must say, there's not a lot of talk about that. Have you seen that thing, Jock? I mean, it almost looks like a stabwood squonker. Unregulated,
okay.
Obviously, more mech. But, I mean, there's not a lot of talk about that guy. So,
no, I prefer my solid blocks of aluminium.
Yeah, you actually do, yeah. But have you
because I'm workshop most of the time, they get knocked around, and yeah. They're much easier to maintain and nothing breaks.
Oh, this guy's so good. Let's quickly see. I've never vaped this guy above 100. Let's push it up to 120, just for the fun of it. Might just make sure there's juice, else I'm going to lose my voice. You laugh.
Somebody's hurting.
You laugh. I mean, these vapes are so warm. Let's just quickly purge a few times. Holy crap sack. That's not me. That's not me. I'm a 50 watt vapor. I'm always been one in that specific range. But you also vape very low
wattage. I want the clouds to be under control. You know, like when I'm working, I don't want to blow a cloud in front of me and wait half an hour for the cloud to dissipate.
Don't lie, man. You can't blow clouds. Blow us a cloud. Give us your best shot, Dans. Okay. So yeah, how many years have you been?
I'm playing circles and jellyfishes and.
Hi, sub vapes. Sean Mayer asks, what would be the best way to get some 510 tips? If you're talking about Hans 510 tips, yeah, the Hans, reply to that.
Yeah, I will get back on the forum. I was hoping to do it this weekend, so I might hop on later tonight.
But Vape still has a lot of your tips in stock, don't they?
Yeah, they should have some. Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to Vape's website, just go and have a look. They've got a special section there, Hans drip tips. And just go and check out there. There's quite a lot which you can, and even if they're sold out, it gives you a very good idea of the color and the type of drip tips. So yeah, then you can decide which one you like, which you think is going to be best on your setup, and then do it. But yeah, I'm actually surprised. I mean, this is a little local mode. I know, Jock, you haven't tried this. This is that L-Box. I mean, the first mod which this guy actually created was this guy. And I mean, this was a fairly rough mod. It was rough on the hand, though. I enjoy it. I don't mind. I got big hands, so ek is 'n rowwe ouetjie. Ek is nie 'n mof gattie. So I don't mind this bit of unevenness over here. No, but it's true. It weirds me out when people say, "Oh, but it's so rough," and I mean, it's so unfinished and unpolished. What? I mean, it's about how it looks to you and how it actually feels. So don't let something like that actually put you off. But I mean, so I don't mind this. But then he came up with this guy. And I mean, you can see the progress which the guy actually made. The only issue I've got with this guy, as I said on the video, is that you should just have put a hole over there where you can actually ignore that. I've got no idea why he's got that. Why you would want to dual squonk there. He's got a squonk hole in front, which is more than enough. Just remove that hole and put it that side, because getting out the battery out of this thing, holy crap sack. You have to smack this thing like my wife smacks me, and that's very hard.
But she needs to keep you in line.
No, she actually does. She actually does. I spend too much on vape gear. I actually spend too much on do-it-yourself ingredients. I do not have the opportunity these days to actually buy a lot of hardware there. So, I mean, you can see my latest review. Sean was watching over there, Sean Mayer. He borrowed me that Nara to actually review. But yeah, most of the stuff goes into do-it-yourself. It's just the way to go. I can't go and pay those prices for all those juices. It's too expensive. I'm just a biology teacher. So yeah, Jock, that's the reason probably why you also went into do-it-yourself. Except that your closest bottle is 3,000 kilometers away from you. The closest vape shop.
Yeah, it's also you're allowed to fine-tune your flavors.
Yeah,
that's the best one. I mean, once you have a decent collection of concentrates, you can get up in the morning and feel like a coffee vape and go make one.
Yeah, Michael says probably because of the left hand. No, I mean, I tested it out. So whether you're left-handed or right-handed, you can still use that specific hole on that side. You do not need that hole. So yeah, it's not an issue squonking when you vape left. So yeah. So I doubt that it's for that though. But as I said, a more convenient hole would have made a bit more sense in that specific one. So yeah, Are there any more questions which you guys want to post, Jock? I know Jock didn't really want to spend a whole hour. I've actually managed to get him on here for 20 minutes longer than he wanted to. Because he's a very shy person. It took me 300 Skype calls to actually get him to answer the first time. So yeah. So Jock, what is your idea of vaping in South Africa? Do you feel we're actually picking up in relation to the international?
I mean, it's reached a small town like Kokstad. I mean, there's people that don't belong to any forums, don't have internet connections, and they somehow manage to find a way to vape.
Yeah. It actually surprised me the amount of people which I met at VapeCon. The small amount which actually part of the e-cig SA forums. I mean, I expected going up there to recognize a huge amount of the guys on their tags, based on their tags, but I think 10%, if it's that high, were actually forum members. The rest were just unknowns. So imagine how big this community can actually grow if everyone goes onto a forum, knows exactly what's going on, and supports vendors. And I think it would be so much quicker for us to build a name. It's as if it's so cluttered and scattered at the moment.
VapeCon was awesome. There was just a bit too many people for my liking.
Yeah, but the same with me. That was my problem as well. I mean, those people go berserk at the giveaways. It's amazing how many people actually they prepare to actually jump over one another just to get a free T-shirt or a free juice bottle or whatever. I mean, I'm not one for huge crowds, not at all. I'm also one of those move back type of blokes standing on the background. So yeah, my favorite fused Clapton wires. Well, I mean, I said on the forum, what I normally like to use is I like to use stainless steel. I find that to give me good flavor, and then I like to use nichrome as well, also for flavor, but ramp up time. Nichrome helps with ramping up your complex builds a lot quicker though. So if I have to take a Clapton, normally it is dual 26s just wrapped with a 38 or a 40 gauge, just to give me that extra surface area. But yeah, that would be my favorite Clapton. Dual 26 stainless steels and then nichrome on the outside. I think that will be A for okay. Kazonki nuts. Lekker man. Cool beans. So yeah, I think that is that. I don't see any other questions there. So anybody else want to ask anyone something? Either me? Yeah, probably one thing I'm not looking forward to with VapeCon is the amount of people. It's great meeting the vendors and actually seeing the people behind these various companies. That's actually very nice. I mean, one of the vendors which actually surprised me, called me closer and said, "Hi KZOR, we watch your videos," and I never knew about that. And so these guys actually know me, and they were extremely friendly with me. Not like some vendors over there, which they do not like me a lot because I'm a straightforward, honest guy. I say it like it is. So yeah, and that offends a lot of people there.
Yeah, but that's also one thing I took from VapeCon is the friendliness of or within the community.
And I mean, the vaping community in South Africa has got a huge heart, especially Rob Fisher. I mean, there's such a lot of piffs going on, and he's one of the first guys to actually always offer and say, "Listen, yeah, this is that is that." So yeah, the guys help one another out a lot.
It's sponsored by Mr. Fisher.
Which one? The Sentinel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think he knew what the Sentinel was. If he watched my video on the Sentinel, I doubt he would have given it away just like that. He just thought it's another RDA. Meantime, back at the ranch, he gives hand the original Sentinel. I've still got the clone version. But yeah, it's a very, very nice RDA for sure. But yeah, guys, I think that is that. If there's no more questions, I just want to thank Hans. Just one last question, Hans. If somebody wants to go into do it yourself, what is the quickest, most efficient route for them to follow?
On the forum, there are a few threads that they've started that actually gives you some guidelines as to which way to go into. It's a hard one. You need you need a bunch of concentrates, to be honest. It's not cheap starting out in DIY. It becomes very cheap, but in the initial stages, when you have to learn what concentrates are good for your palette, what particular brands you favor, so there is a bit of trial and error involved, and but it's a fun process. I mean, in the beginning, I threw away many bottles of juice just because they are not very capable. But you learn quickly, and once you've done that, one or two orders, maybe 20 or 30 bottles concentrates at a time, then you should be good to go.
Yeah, that's one of the
There's
things.
a lot of recipes to follow.
Yeah, that's what I just wanted to say. On eSig SA forums, they've got threads. They've got dessert threads, and they've got tobacco threads, and they've got fruity threads. So you must just go and have a look. There's guys are posting very good recipes. So get yourself one of those recipes, even if it's got 4 or 5. Just start off with 4 or 5 ingredients. Do it yourself sucks noogies. Yeah, yes, Rob. For somebody who makes juice that tastes like castor oil, that would put you off here, for sure. But we actually make vapeable juices. Do it yourself is an awesome route to follow, but it's not for everyone. Definitely not. I mean, you have to have a lot of patience. That's why I say if you're going to do it yourself now, if you want to do it correctly and your heart is into do it yourself, get yourself a digital scale. Get yourself a 250 milliliter glass beaker with a stirring rod. Get yourself a stirrer, magnetic stirrer, and then 4 or 5, etc. But I mean, otherwise, it could be a tedious process.
You know, DIY is in a good stage. I mean, there's so much information available. It's when I started DIY, there was not so much information. We weren't spoiled for choice when it came to concentrate manufacturers. It was basically TFA and Capella. If you go onto the forum, you just pick your flavor profile, like fruits or beverages, and pick 1 or 2 recipes that looks okay, and buy the concentrates and have a go.
Yeah. Sean asked earlier, though, from a drip tip perspective, do you get different tips for a different vape experience? Most definitely. Just to give you an idea, just before this live feed, about say 5 o'clock this afternoon, I just wanted to place a different drip tip on this. Now this is a goon style drip tip. If you have a look at the opening, it's actually got a 510 opening on the inside. So yeah, and as soon as I put goons on here, or goon style, it made a huge difference. Too much airflow, and it takes away from this specific vape experience from this guy. Because remember, the Tokugawa's got a 24mm outside diameter, but if you lift it up, it's got a 22mm bull deck on the inside. So your drip tip is going to make a huge difference. But I think Geeky Vapes, what's it, Geeky Vape guy? What's the guy's name? That Indian guy that does reviews?
Yeah. I don't know his name. I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, he's got, I think it's, in any case, Geeky Vapes, something like that. But he made a video which I saw about the difference in drip tips now. It does make a huge difference in your experience. There's so many people that moan about the Hadley. Sorry, Jacques, I can't you say. That complain about the Hadley heating up. And then they saw my setup, and then they saw this drip tip. And I mean, all of a sudden, when they experienced this, it's a total different experience. Now everyone is trying to find Hadleys again, because the Hadley did heat up here, but not with this, Pyrex type of top cap and a decent drip tip. It's fantastic to vape on it now, but it wasn't in the beginning. It actually heated up. Geek Guy, there Sean Meyer says. Geek Guy's got a nice video, Sean, so you can go and check that out.
You see, you can customize your vape a little bit more with your drip tip. You'll have to try a few different varieties of drip tips. I would suggest try one with a huge opening, try one with a smaller one, try one with something medium, and then you'll see it does make a difference to the flavor of the vape. I prefer a 6mm hole, roughly about, I would say 25mm long. Yeah, that's my case.
Yeah, and it's actually pointless when you've got a 22mm RDA and you've got either small little air holes or even one air hole like this little guy, to have something wide on the inside. So you've got to have that 510 diameter on the inside to still get that restrictive, because it's pointless. You're not going to suck out so many air through that small little air intakes to justify using a traditional 810 drip tip. So yeah, this guy just looks very nice. It's long as well. Your lips doesn't touch the atomizer at all. So all these things add up to your vaping experience.
And the other one is,
the other
you know, what are you comfortable with? Are you comfortable with a big drip tip in your mouth or a thin one? The other point is spit back. If you have a bowl that's like a little bit of a spitter, then yeah, a thinner drip tip will work better because you won't be getting all those hot droplets in your mouth.
Yeah, and didn't you also tell me you wanted to start making your own mods? You would have liked to start making your own mods.
Yeah, this year is the year of the less. I want to try and do less because I get carried away with being involved in too many things, and I end up not halfway doing things. So yeah, I want to focus this year a little bit better.
Yeah, just on drip tips and jewelry, keeping your customer base happy.
Yeah.
No, totally understandable. But yeah, guys, listen, I think we're going to end the feed over here. Jock is a tired man. He's still got a lot of jewelry to do. He woke up especially for this Skype. He's normally a sleeper from about 10 in the morning till 10 at night. And then he eats his Dracula session. When we all have a nice nappy, he makes jewelry in that workshop which you see behind him. So yeah, just quickly, one last question, Jock. If somebody wants to go into drip tips there, what machinery do they need?
The first drip tips I made them without a lathe, just using a drill basically. But I would recommend at least have a lathe of some sort. If you want to do metal cutting, you'll definitely need a metal lathe. But yeah, that's about it. You need a lathe, a drill press, some stainless steel, and then some resin blocks. Resin blocks you can buy resin blocks from pen making supplies.
And then
they come looking like this. So you just get a square block.
And then a wife that gives you some space.
Sorry, say again?
And then a wife that gives you space to work.
Yeah.
So yeah, listen, Jock, I just want to thank you. But for everyone who's heard about hands tips in South Africa, and other international guys won't be aware of this though. But yeah, just go and check one of my videos in my archive about the tips which this guy actually makes. And that's the reason why I actually wanted to do a little Skype session with Jock so that people can get to know him a lot better and understand where he is and what's going on in his life and what the situation is regarding his drip tip making at this specific point. So Jock, thank you very much, and we'll leave you so you can back to making jewelry for the Kokstad ladies.
No worries.
Okay guys, listen, thanks for joining. We'll try and do that later. So I'll try and get Rob Fisher next Sunday evening.
Ooh,
so get your questions together so we can push Rob into a corner. Especially all his high-end stuff, his Helsinki and all those mods from the Philippines and Indonesia and the lost city of Atlantis, wherever he orders the stuff from. Lord knows.
And get him to make some more videos.
I think my total collection of 30 mods might be cheaper than one of his. So in any case, cheers guys. Listen, thank you very much for joining. Bye-bye.
Cheers guys.